Tonight's NHL slate is stacked with high-stakes matchups, division battles, and momentum-defining clashes that could reshape the standings. From Tampa to New Jersey, Columbus to Vegas, every team is fighting for early season leverage, every goal matters, and every save could swing the balance. We're breaking down every game, analyzing key players, special teams, and tactical edges to see who's poised to dominate across the league tonight. Don't forget to support the channel by liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell for more expert NHL analysis. Also comment your favorite pick. Tonight in Tampa, the Flyers and Lightning face off in a clash that extends far beyond the standings. Just a single point separates these two teams, but the weight of early season leverage, momentum control, and the chance to stake an early claim in the division makes this far more than a routine matchup. Philadelphia, sitting at the 3rd of June 11 with 25 points, occupies 4th place in the Metropolitan Division, navigating a tight race where every win matters. Tampa Bay, meanwhile, carries a 2nd of July 12 record and 26 points, second in the Atlantic, arriving with confidence, swagger, and a roster-hitting form at precisely the right moment. The game may not be a geographic rivalry, but it has all the hallmarks of one in terms of intensity and energy tonight. Looking at the numbers, the two teams present contrasting styles but are operating on similar performance levels. Philadelphia's season has been defined by the emergence of Trevor Zegras, whose 21 points, including 7 goals and 14 assists, make him the driving engine of the Flyers' top line. Logging heavy minutes, he remains poised under pressure, while Travis Konechny, 17 points, and Christian Dvorak, 14 points, round out a top 6 capable of producing both speed and structure. Sean Couturier and Noah Cates anchor the middle of the lineup with strong defensive responsibility. Tyson Forster brings a two-way impact, sporting the team's best +6, while Owen Tippett imposes his physicality with 20 penalty minutes. On the blue line, Cam York, Travis Sanheim, and Jamie Drysdale take on the toughest defensive assignments, their minutes climbing as the schedule intensifies. Tampa counters with formidable firepower across all zones. Nikita Kucherov and Owen Tippett lead with 22 points and 12 goals, while Kucherov's 12 assists underline his playmaking brilliance. Victor Hedman and Mikhail Sergachev provide defensive balance, with Hedman's +8 reflecting his two-way effectiveness. Curtis Douglas brings a physical edge with 46 penalty minutes, adding grit to Tampa's depth. Team metrics suggest an incredibly narrow margin between these squads. The Flyers sit at 2.80 goals per game with 2.80 allowed, relying on structure and timely execution, while Tampa operates at 3.14 goals for and 2.86 against, generating pressure consistently through all three zones. Special teams are neck and neck as well, with the Flyers posting a 17.5% power play and 85% penalty kill, and Tampa slightly ahead at 17.8% power play and 87.3% penalty kill. Neither team has a glaring weakness, leaving this contest balanced on execution and momentum. Recent form favors Tampa, who have won 5 of their last encounters in various styles, a 5-3 victory over Washington, an overtime triumph against Edmonton, a 5-1 rout of New Jersey, a solid showing against Vancouver, and a tight contest with Florida. Their depth is evident, the bench connected, and leaders consistently delivering. Philadelphia, meanwhile, has been uneven, with wins such as the 6-3 result over New Jersey contrasted with losses to St. Louis, Dallas, and Edmonton. The Flyers' challenge is sustaining the high gear they can reach on their best nights. Goaltending shapes the narrative even further. Dan Vladar anchors Philadelphia, boasting 8 wins in 13 games with a 2.42 goals against average and 8.912 save percentage, thriving when his defense keeps shots predictable. Backup Martin Ersson adds depth with 3 wins in 6 appearances. Tampa counters with Andrei Vasilevsky, the standard bearer and ultimate stabilizer, recording 8 wins in 15 games with a 2.52 GAA and 8.909 save percentage. Vasilevsky absorbs pressure and resets the ice with trademark calm, while backup Johansson offers 4 wins in relief. On a night like tonight, which Nedminder can calm the storm first could decide the outcome. Tactically, the Flyers aim to control the neutral zone, execute methodical entries, and push Tampa into low-danger cycle-heavy sequences. Zegras can create chances on the counterattack, Couturier dictates tempo, and the defensive core keeps lanes sealed. Tampa thrives in chaos, relying on speed through the middle, early zone pressure, and open ice for Kucherov to exploit. Special teams are poised to tilt the ice with a single blown rotation or failed clear. X factors like Forster's two-way game, Dvorak's face-off dominance, and Kucherov's deceptive playmaking will influence every sequence. With all elements considered, Tampa Bay carries the edge tonight, leveraging pace, depth, and recent form to extend their surge. Philadelphia will start tight, but the Lightning's relentless pressure through the third period should decide the game, with a total over 5 likely. Shifting to Madison Square Garden, the St. Louis Blues face the New York Rangers in a matchup defined by urgency and opportunity. Both teams sit mid-pack within their divisions, St. Louis at 7-9-6, 7th in the Central, and New York at the 2nd of November 10, 7th in the Metropolitan. Both teams are chasing consistency in a season where every early point has playoff implications. New York seeks to halt a slide of back-to-back losses, while St. Louis hopes to regain momentum after narrow, uneven results. Individual matchups highlight contrasting styles. Jordan Kyrou leads St. Louis with 13 points and 6 goals, supported by Robert Thomas with 10 assists and reliable two-way play. Justin Falk and Pavel Buchnevich provide steadiness, but the team's shot efficiency sits at a razor-thin 10.4%, leaving little room for error. The Rangers counter with elite firepower, led by Ari Panarin's 20 points, Adam Fox's 16 assists, and Mika Zibanejad's 7 goals. New York's shot generation, top-line depth, and cohesive attack give them a tangible edge. Defensively, St. Louis spreads responsibility, with Hunter Skinner holding a modest +1, while New York displays greater stability, with Carson Soucy at +5 and multiple skaters near even. Goaltending may define the contest. Jordan Binnington has started 15 games for St. Louis, posting a 3.13 GAA and .888 save percentage, absorbing heavy pressure nightly. Joel Hofer's numbers are weaker, leaving the burden on Binnington. New York's Igor Shesterkin, in contrast, anchors with a .909 save percentage, 2.53 GAA, and 429 total saves, stabilizing the Rangers when games become chaotic. Jonathan Quick offers additional depth with a .944 save percentage and 1.69 GAA in limited appearances. Team metrics emphasize the challenges. St. Louis averages 2.68 goals per game while surrendering 3.64, requiring frequent comebacks. The Rangers sit at 2.48 goals for and 2.65 against, with special teams advantages, 20% on the power play and a 78.5% penalty kill, versus St. Louis's 24.1% power play and 75% kill. Recent form mirrors the struggle. St. Louis is 2-3 in the last 5, New York also 2-3, with both sides losing tight games. Tempo and puck control will be critical. New York aims for fast neutral zone play and open ice chances for Panarin and Zibanejad, while St. Louis relies on structure and counterattacks from Thomas and Kyrou. Special teams may swing momentum, and X factors like Fox's transition mastery and Thomas's puck possession can tilt the ice in a single shift. Considering goalkeeping, top-end talent, and special teams, the Rangers hold the edge at home. The projected score is New York 4, St. Louis 2, with total over 5 likely. In Nashville, the Florida Panthers face a desperate Predators squad. Florida arrives at the 1st of September 11, 6th in the Atlantic, fueled by offensive surges and a top 6 led by Brad Marchand, 24 points, 13 goals. Anton Lundell drives the center lane with 18 points and 12 assists, while Sam Reinhart adds 12 points. Defensive stability comes from Gustav Forsling with a team-best +5 and 28 blocked shots, and Seth Jones provides transition reliability. Nashville, struggling at 6-1-1-4 and last in the Central, leans heavily on Philip Forsberg, 8 goals, 15 points, Ryan O'Reilly, 13 points, and Eric Haula, but scoring drops sharply beyond this trio. The Predators' shot generation is limited, with only 575 total attempts, well behind Florida's depth and offensive layering. Florida averages 2.90 goals for and 3.05 against, with a 21% power play and 79.5% penalty kill. Nashville sits at 2.29 goals for and 3.48 against, with a 15% power play and 82% kill. Florida's highs have been explosive, including an 8-5 win over Vancouver and a 3-1 win over Tampa, while their lows, like an 8-3 loss to Washington, highlight volatility. Nashville has struggled to maintain consistency, with defensive lapses and late recoveries exposing them to rapid Florida bursts. Goaltending is pivotal, with Florida sending out Sergei Bobrovsky, 10 wins, 2.80 GAA, .877 save percentage, backed by Dennis Malgin, 2.34 GAA, .910 save percentage. Nashville relies on Juuse Saros, 6 wins, 2.85 GAA, .896 save percentage, and Connor Ingram, 3.98 GAA, .849 save percentage, but Saros faces a high-volume challenge. Florida's aggressive forecheck and Lundell's transitional prowess could prove decisive. The Panthers are expected to prevail 4-2, with a total over 5.5. Finally, in Los Angeles, the Senators travel to face the Kings in a matchup where each team seeks stability. Ottawa, the 4th of June 11 and 3rd in the Atlantic with 26 points, brings balanced scoring from Tim Stützle, 21 points, 11 goals, and Drake Batherson, 13 assists, anchored by Jake Sanderson's heavy minutes and Jordan Spence's +8 impact. The Kings, the 6th of June 10 and 5th in the Pacific, are led by Adrian Kemp, 20 points, Kevin Fiala, 16 points, 9 goals, and Anze Kopitar, +7. Ottawa's finishing edge is stronger despite Law's higher shot volume, with Senators firing 557 shots at 12.2% efficiency versus 646 shots at 9.1% for the Kings. Ottawa concedes 3.29 goals per game, slightly higher than LA at 2.68, but their power play efficiency at 23.5% is a critical weapon against the Kings' 14.3%. Penalty kills tilt slightly in Law's favor, 80% to Ottawa's 70%. Recent form favors Ottawa, winning 3 of their last 5, including a 3-2 overtime victory against Dallas, contrasting with Law's 3 losses in 5. Goaltending looms large. Leonis Ullmark anchors Ottawa, 8.54, 2.96 GAA, .877 save percentage, while Darcy Kuemper steadies Le, 7.44, 2.38 GAA, .906 save percentage, backed by Anton Forsberg. The clash of Ottawa's top-line offense against Law's structural discipline sets up a battle where special teams, face-offs, and key defensive matchups define momentum. Ottawa enters sharper and carries a slight edge despite LA winning the previous 1-0 meeting. In a tight, late-game push, Ottawa is projected to eke out a win, with total over 5 expected. Next puck drops tonight in Newark, with 2 of the Atlantic Division's top contenders colliding in a game loaded with early season implications. The Detroit Red Wings arrive at the 1st of August 13, sitting atop the division with 27 points, while the New Jersey Devils match that total at the 1st of July 13, fighting for positioning near the top of the Metropolitan. Both teams carry the weight of expectation and the hunger to define their November narrative. Detroit is seeking to snap out of a minor skid, trying to regain rhythm after inconsistent stretches, while New Jersey looks to sustain the momentum of home ice confidence that has fueled their surge through the early part of the season. The story tonight is one of urgency, contrasting trends, and the subtle battle for early season leverage. Detroit leans heavily on the leadership of Dylan Larkin, who has 24 points through 22 games, evenly split between goals and assists, while maintaining a team-leading +11 rating and contributing strong power play production. Lucas Raymond supports with 23 points and 16 assists, and Alex DeBrink adds another 14 points to the offensive ledger. On the blue line, Moritz Seider anchors minutes and matchups while Simon Edmondson brings 40 penalty minutes and a physical presence that Detroit will need if they hope to counter New Jersey's balanced attack. The Red Wings average 2.91 goals per game and allow just over 3, which indicates a solid, structured approach but one that has shown vulnerability when they fail to sustain momentum. New Jersey counters with a highly balanced offensive core. Jesper Bratt leads with 21 points and 16 assists, while Jack Hughes provides complementary scoring with 10 goals. Nico Hischier, Timo Meier, and Dawson Mercer round out a deep top six capable of generating offense across all three zones. The Devils' defensive core combines skill and physicality, with Luke Hughes directing tempo through transition while Brendan Dillon and Dougie Hamilton control space and impose edge play. New Jersey averages 3 goals per game while conceding 3.05, reflecting an aggressive style that can tilt pace in their favor when executed with discipline. The Devils' power play at 23.6% gives them a clear edge over Detroit's 15%, while penalty kills sit almost even, Detroit at 81% and New Jersey at 80.6%, highlighting the special teams battle as a likely determining factor in the flow of the game. Momentum paints a compelling contrast. Detroit's last 5 games have seen flashes of brilliance, including an overtime win versus Columbus and a dominant shutout over the Islanders, but uneven outings against the Rangers and Buffalo reveal defensive lapses. New Jersey has experienced turbulence as well, with a blowout loss to Philadelphia countered by a gritty overtime victory against Chicago, but their offensive balance and home ice composure position them well to absorb pressure and respond in critical moments. Goalkeeping is equally pivotal. Detroit's John Gibson has faced 12 starts, posting a 3.47 GAA and .870 save percentage, efficient but stretched by high-danger chances. Cam Talbot offers statistical strength with a smaller sample size, while New Jersey's Jake Allen provides a 2.46 GAA and .908 save percentage, a stabilizing presence that could tilt the night toward the Devils if he maintains rhythm and command under sustained attack. Tactically, Detroit will aim for controlled breakouts, measured north-south rushes, and disciplined neutral zone coverage, looking to leverage Larkin's line for early momentum and transition advantage. New Jersey thrives in structured chaos, executing layered zone entries, stretch passes, and rapid cycle touches that can overload defensive gaps. The special teams battle is central. Detroit must pressure efficiently on the penalty kill and generate meaningful interior opportunities on the power play, while New Jersey's man advantage has the potential to dominate with quick puck rotations and decisive half-wall pressure. Lucas Raymond's vision and playmaking for Detroit and Timo Meier's net front grit for New Jersey represent the X-factors capable of swinging the rhythm of the contest. After evaluating form, depth, and net minding, New Jersey's balance and steadier goaltending grant them the edge in a high-intensity matchup, with over 5.5 goals likely as both clubs press through heavy sequences. Shifting to the Metropolitan, Columbus and Washington meet with both clubs entrenched in the middle of the standings crush. The Jackets, at the 3rd of August 11, sit tied for points with Pittsburgh, while the Capitals trail slightly at the 2nd of September 11. The first matchup favored Washington, a 5-1 result back in October, but the gap has tightened as Columbus has steadied itself and the Capitals seek consistency after a mixed November. Columbus leans on the emergence of Kirill Marenko, 22 points including 8 goals and 14 assists, and a distributed attack behind him with Dmitry Veronov and Zach Winsky anchoring defense and supporting scoring. Washington counters with Tom Wilson leading in goals and points, Dylan Strome orchestrating from the middle, and Alex Ovechkin providing second-layer finishing threats. Washington averages 3.23 goals per game, slightly higher than Columbus at 2.95, while defending more efficiently at 2.73 compared to Columbus's 3.18. Special teams further define this matchup. Columbus boasts a 17.6% power play, aided by Marenko's dual-threat touch and Olivier's net front presence, while Washington operates at 14.7%. Penalty kill percentages sit close, 74.1% for Columbus and 71.8% for Washington, suggesting tight, high-stakes sequences where every minor lapse can define the result. In net, Columbus relies on Jet Greaves, a .904 save percentage and 2.80 GAA technician capable of maintaining composure under heavy traffic. Washington's Logan Thompson counters with a 2.24 GAA and .910 save percentage, a steadier hand given the Caps' higher danger chances. Tactically, Columbus aims for structured entries, tight spacing, and sustained cycle pressure to free Marenko, while Washington seeks rapid tempo, aggressive slot entries, and neutral zone manipulation. Key X factors include Varanov's net front muscle, Strome's playmaking, and Wilson's physical disruption. Washington's higher gear and crease stability tip the balance in their favor, with a likely total over 5.5 as both teams battle through transitional pressure. Out west, Vegas and Utah collide in Salt Lake City, presenting contrasting trajectories with playoff implications. Vegas, at the 7th of April 10 with 27 points, seeks to tighten its grip on a crowded Pacific, while Utah at the 3rd of August 11, 25 points, looks to stabilize against rising challengers. Vegas brings a polished offensive core led by Jack Eichel, 29 points including 10 goals, backed by Mitch Marner and Pavel Dorff, whose finishing adds depth scoring. Utah counters with Nick Schmaltz, Clayton Keller, and Logan Cooley, combining for 30 assists and creative tempo setting in the offensive zone. Vegas allows 2.43 goals per game, one of the stingiest marks in the West, while Utah concedes 3.05, revealing coverage inconsistency that could be exploited. Goalkeeping contrasts sharply. Vegas' Akira Schmid anchors with a .902 save percentage and 2.45 GAA, calm and precise, while Utah's Karel Velka handles heavy pressure with a .884 save percentage and 2.87 GAA, reacting explosively but exposed by defensive lapses. Momentum tells the story. Vegas is 3-1-1 in the last 5 with decisive wins including a 4-1 victory over Utah, while the Mammoth are 1-4-0, including 3 tight overtime losses. Tactical battles revolve around Vegas' structured entries, layered forechecking, and controlled neutral zone battles versus Utah's speed through Cooley and Pittia, reliant on space creation. Special teams are decisive. Vegas' man advantage is sharp, while Utah's penalty kill remains vulnerable under sustained pressure. X factors like Schmaltz's ability to convert half chances and Sergachev's point shooting can influence momentum, but Vegas' depth, structure, and composure give them the edge. The Golden Knights' steadier defensive system, cleaner goaltending, and multi-line offensive capacity favor them to take the win, with a projected total over 5.5 reflecting both teams' offensive firepower and open play. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want even more winning insights, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss our expert NHL breakdowns and exclusive picks.